We are joined as well by another Svitlana Krakovska, the head of the delegation of Ukraine to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC. She is one of Ukraine's leading climate scientists, a senior scientist at the National Antarctic Scientific Center, and head of the Applied Climatology Laboratory in Ukraine. You are still inside the summit. You spent 8 years on this last report. You were getting ready to deliver it. Russia invaded Ukraine. Can you talk about what it was like as you and other Ukrainian scientists tried to release this report as the bombs were falling on your city, the capital, Kyiv?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me. And actually, you really asked the question which is, you know, it was a terrible situation for me because I was head of delegation on this UN summit, and we were just about, approving this report about vulnerability, impact, and adaptation, and these bombs started to fall on Kyiv. So I was so angry, to be honest. At that moment, I was so angry that on top of all problems we have now on our planet, in our society, we now have war, which is much more, important for us as Ukrainian scientists at that moment, and of course for all on this planet, because this war, I was thinking, ahead, and I was project that we will have after in few days, in few weeks, in few months, and what we have now. And it's exactly what we have now, actually.
You've called Ukraine's war a fossil fuel war. Explain what you mean.
First of all, I would say that it's not Ukraine's war. So this is Russian war on Ukraine. So this is big difference, in fact. And with this, it was very clear for me from very beginning, because I'm climate scientist, that Russia can do, and she able to do this war just because she has enough money, enough and big army, actually. And this army was built just because Russia has so good, now not good, but fossil fuels, which she actually sold to other countries. So it means for me that fossil fuels, it's a root, it's enabler of the war, of Russia war on Ukraine. At the same time, fossil fuels is the cause of climate change. So for me, it was clear, this connection. And now I'm really very happy that this is clear for many people in the world. And now we are, I hope, about to finish our dependency on fossil fuels.
I mean, your science is so important to you, Svitlana. You decided not to leave Kyiv. You have 4 children?
Yeah, I have 4 children, actually, and yeah, we decided to stay in Kyiv. Again, I said I was angry. I was angry because I didn't want to leave my native city where I was born, where my children were born, actually, just because somebody wants me to leave, And of course, it was not, it was a conscious, actually, decision, because we were sitting with my husband and just estimating risks, as climate risk, we were estimating risk for our family, for my children. And after all, we decided that, okay, we will manage this risk inside the city. So we put stripes on our windows. We were in the corridors. My daughter spent few months in a bathroom, just living there with her cats, actually. Well, I was giving hundreds of interviews from my flat just to show people how it is be inside, actually. And at the same time, I ask people, don't stop to fight climate change. Because when we were, and we're still in this war in Ukraine, of course, it's our threat right now. But climate change will not stop. So it means that other nations should make more on our behalf as well. But now, actually, I'm really happy. I didn't speak about climate change in Ukraine half year from the full-scale invasion. But now, here at COP, Ukraine first time had own pavilion where we made a lot of, every day we had few events, and I organized these events, and these events were about recovery, about green transition, about our future. And this is really essential for us in Ukraine, to think about future and this better future, actually, on this green way.
You're a leading scientist in Ukraine, which makes you a leading scientist, climate scientist in the world. Your assessment of how the talks have progressed, what many scientists and activists are saying, it's astounding they don't mention fossil fuels or the phasing down of all fossil fuels. Your thoughts?
I should say that this COP, well, I don't have too much, experience in COP. I'm a scientist. I'm not political. I do even science in IPCC as well. So for me, it is second COP. I remember my first just a year ago, and I was really very, I was surprised how we were listened as scientists. And now I see it's even more that politicians start to listen to science, and I hope actually because they're not only politicians, they're humans as well, and they're impacted by, and they see all this impact of climate change. So I see this good signs of changing, if be honest. I understand that we all science and all civil society, we need to continue to push them, to make more, to be more active. But at the same time, I understand that many actions should be very well, think in advance, because maladaptation could be actually happen in this world as well. So we need, climate system is a very complex system, and we need to think carefully and really rely on science.
Are you returning to Kyiv after this UN climate summit?
Yes, I will return to Kyiv. To Kyiv where, my family now almost more than half day without electricity, in cold flats, with first snow, which is not too much, happy they are for. And well, but anyway, I mean, I'm a positive person, and I am really optimistic in my soul, I would say. I saw here, and I met here so many prominent scientists and activists. I pretty believe that we can do it together. And again, I can say it's from our Ukrainian perspective. From the very beginning of this war, we were so much united, all. Because before, we argued a lot inside society. We were not pleased with our government, our president, but then we were united. And with this, we are winning now. So I really believe that if we all in the world will unite, we will win this fight as well.
Well, Svitlana Krakovska, I want to thank you so much for being with us, head of the delegation of Ukraine to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC. She is one of Ukraine's leading climate scientists.